Good morning. I'm Gianni the Greek, coming to you live straight from Las Vegas. It's Thursday, June the 20th, and we got some early day games in Major League Baseball. This is more or less the travel day, not a big board, but we did get into action bright and early. I believe I bet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so premium bets already sent out to subscribers, and we're coming off a plus night. Not saying the storm is over, but it's always good when you wake up and the accounts were a little bit positive compared to negatives that we've been facing. And all we could do is keep grinding. Again, you manage your risk correctly, you survive the storm, and you're there to celebrate when the sunshine comes. If you mismanage your risk, you're never going to be able to survive those losing streaks that are a mathematical certainty. A mathematical certainty. Again, it's not my opinion. It's just a fact that you will lose. Even if you're a 60% handicapper at minus 110, which nobody is, but even if you were, that means you're going to lose 4 out of every 10 bets. And it's not going to come 4 out of every 10. Meaning, in the long term, it'll appear that way. Over 1,000 bets, it'll be closer to 600 winners, 400 losers. But in the short term, there's absolutely no reason it can't be 10 winners and 55 losers. Like, there's that randomness in short term, even with an edge. So that's why I always preach, and I'll continue to pound this. Money management is the make or break for all sports bettors. Now, if you're a losing sports bettor, mismanaging risks means you're just going to lose your money quicker. If you're a winning sports bettor, mismanaging risk will make you a losing sports bettor. That's the difference maker. And again, the best way to manage risk is very simple. Small in relationship to your bankroll. The lesser your bet size is in relation to your bankroll, the lesser your risk of ruin. Remember, even with an edge, your risk of ruin will always be there. And what does risk of ruin means? The percentage of times you will go to zero compared to the percentage of times you will double your bankroll. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have about a 2-3% edge over the house, which is huge because you got to overcome the 4.5% hold they already have, 4.5%, 5%, right around there, depending on the sport and the VIG. But let's say at minus 110, 4.5% hold we need to overcome. So let's say you're really good and you could have about 2.5% edge above that. Okay. So your real edge is closer to 7%. 7%. Say you're that good. Let's not forget the MIT group that they wrote books about, made movies about, they had about a 2% edge. So I'm telling you, let's say you had a 7%. But again, you have to overcome the 4.5. So that extra 2.5 is what your profit will be, what your edge, your EV will be. Okay. So what is your risk of ruin if that's the case? Meaning, how many units do I need in relationship to not going broke? I'll break it to you. Let's say you have 200 units. Okay. I'm betting $20 to $100, 1x to 5x, just like I do it. And at $20 a unit, let's say I have 200 units. You're like, that's not bad. You got 200 units. Let's do the math. $20 times 200 units. That means I have a $4,000 bankroll. So let's say I start with $4,000 and I'm saying I'm only going to bet $20 per unit. So I go 1x to 5x. My biggest bet will never be more than 100. My smallest bet will be $20. So I'm betting 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Okay. $20 units. I have 200 of those to fire. Do you know what your risk of ruin is? Even with that edge that I spoke about? About 40%. That's correct. 6 out of 10 times, you will double your bankroll. 4 out of 10 times, you will go broke. That's the math. That's the math. So if you only have 200 units, your risk of ruin is about 40%. 6 out of 10 times, you'll double it. 4 out of 10 times, you'll lose it all. That's with 200 units. How many guys have a $4,000 bankroll and are only betting $20 units? Not many, right? Most are betting $100, $50 units, $75 units, $100 units. They're not betting $20 units, $10 units. And that's why the risk of ruin is so high. And that's why they continue to lose their money over and over and over again. And that's why the sports books let us know that 99.5% of their clients are down money, lifetime, are down money. So don't believe the hype. Don't believe gambling Twitter and all the winners and all the nonsense and all these bullshit records that are the smallest sample sizes I've ever seen, or long sample sizes, but nowhere documented. Nowhere documented. It's just a made up freaking record. This shit ain't easy, dude. This ain't easy, and it ain't for everybody. Not everyone's cut out for this. Not everyone's cut out for this. Most people, just to be blatantly honest, and thank God I can be, I don't need to sell packages. Most are blatantly honest. Like, most people shouldn't be betting at all. Like, that's just the truth. I'd say the majority that I've met should only be betting for entertainment. There are a few that I've met that are built to trade and invest their income and take that risk in the sports betting market. Like, they're equipped to turn a return on investment. Most, even guys with that I know are good cappers with an edge, they just can't get the money management part down. Like, they just refuse to get that part down. They don't have the patience. And when things are going good, it's easy. They'll follow the rules. But once things go bad, all hell breaks loose. That's what usually happens. So I don't want that to happen. That's why I will continue to take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes every single day to go over how we need to manage our bankroll. Because without proper risk management, the rest is nonsense. The rest is a waste of time. The picks become irrelevant. Again, I'm telling you, with a 200 unit bankroll, 200 unit, and a proven edge, you will still lose it 4 out of 10 times. 4 out of 10 times, you will go broke if you're betting $20 with 4,000 behind you. That's just the math. Again, that's not Ace's opinion. That's the math. You know what you need to get to a 1% risk of ruin? To go to 99% of the time, you will double your bank. 1%, you will lose your bank. I'll tell you right now, you need 1,000 of them. You need 1,000 units. So you need 20 dimes, $20,000 to bet $20 a unit, 20 to 100 comfortably forever. 99 out of 100 times, if you really do have that edge, you will double your bankroll. Only 1 out of 100 times will you lose it. So if you're that gangster that you could have 1,000 unit bankroll, the books have no shot. They'll never beat you. They could never beat you. They mathematically could never beat you as long as you have that edge. Like 1 in 100 times, but along the way, unless it happens in your very first time, you're going to have doubled your bankroll 20, 30, 40, 60 times. So who cares that one time you lose it? You just push in the next one. You've already doubled it how many times? That's the key. That's the key. But who's going to have a 20 dime sports betting bankroll and bet $20? Who's going to do that? This guy. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I do what I do. But it took me forever to get there. I had to lose over and over and over and over and over again until I just got tired of losing. Just got sick of losing with winning information with the sharpest shit. So don't make my mistake. Learn early that your risk of ruin, you control it. You're 100% in control of your risk of ruin. You could decide. You could decide what your ruin probability is. That's on you. That's on you. All right. You guys came here for some winners, not for me to talk shit. How about crypto dropping a little bit? That Bitcoin price is dropping, right? You know, Ace has a big bet against that. You know that we're fading it right now. Let's take a look. Let's take a look real quick. Oh boy. Ooh, broke that 65. We know that. 50's coming. Come on. Who doesn't know that? Right now, here's what I'm going to share this with you right now. If you have any cash on the sidelines and you have 6 months of time in front of you, buy commodities right now. Get on your brokerage account and start buying commodities. Number one, today, you buy lithium. Get in there and buy lithium. Lithium's down to what? $40 right now? Yeah, $40. It has a probability of getting down to like 36. That's when we really back up. At 32, we back up the truck. We back up the truck and unload. But right now at 40, we take a decent position. a decent position. And then we add a little more if it drops to 36. And like I said, we back up I'll take a full position if it goes to 32. But I'm already in right now at 40 again in lithium. I bought wheat again. Remember, we bought wheat at $5.05, rode it up to $6.50 almost, and then sold it. Well, wheat's giving us that opportunity again. It's down to 542. I have a buy order at 534. Now, this morning, it went to 537. So I was 3 cents off of my limit order triggering. That shows me that the institutions are front running us traders who were already set up to trade that gap on wheat. We were all sitting ready to trade at 534. So I knew other traders were going to push that momentum. So it would have been a nice day trade, but I probably would have held wheat as one of those commodities. But yeah, I didn't get it. I was 3 cents off, and now it's trading at 542. But I still have my buy order, $5.34. If it comes down it, I get some wheat. But lithium, like I said, lithium's where it's at. Let's pull that lithium real quick. Yeah, there we go, Lith. There we go. $40.15, baby. 40.15. And of course, like you guys know, uranium on pullbacks. I have two trend lines that converged at $50, and you saw it came right down to $50 and bounced. Actually, two trend lines and Fibonacci retracement. So we had three factors on that trade of buying uranium at $50. Boom. What happened? The bounced right up to $52 within like 48 hours. Within 48 hours. It's a nice little bounce. But we want to hold. Uranium's got a lot of upside. Energy is going to be a problem. 6-12 months from now, energy is going to become a big problem. So get in there on the commodities, baby. Get in there on the commodities. And yeah, next 6 months is going to be interesting. The end of the year is going to be really crazy. Chaos. Remember, Ace said that. I don't know whether they're planning this. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know whether they're setting us up for World War III's or what they're doing. All right, it's early. We need to drag it. It's nicotine before the internet explodes. For Ace hitting that arrow CBD. We need a little CBD in our lives. We all do. We have a cannabinoid system inside. We need it. We need it to replenish. All right, let's go. Let's give you some winners. Where could I go? Where am I going to get you? Where am I going to give you? No, I won't give you that one. I'll try to give you this. That's up there. Ooh, let's go Oakland. Home dog, Oakland A's. Oakland A's over Kansas City. Yes, we're going to take Oakland for the game on the money line, right around that plus 125 range or better. And we're also going to take Oakland at plus a half a run in the first 5. Those that have a little higher risk tolerance, like I do, also take them on the money line. The way I released it was this. I bet Oakland plus 130, 3% play. Oakland plus 130 first 5, I believe, 2% play. Oakland plus a half a run first 5 at minus 110, 2% play. So I got 2% on Oakland money line, 2% Oakland run line first 5, and then a 3% Oakland money line for the game. And again, I'm not betting 2%. I'm betting 0.25 of that. 0.25 of that. I'm not crazy. I'm not looking to increase my risk of ruin. I'm looking to lower my risk of ruin. So we like that Oakland team at home today. That's for sure. Yeah, they're a below 500 team at home. Where are they at for the season? Oh yeah, KC's playing way above their heads. And Tampa's playing actually below their they'll be close to a 500 team when all the dust settles. I mean, Oakland, forgive. No, where am I looking? I was looking at Tampa. Sorry, because that's coming next. Now you already know what's coming next. Oakland will not be a 500 team. Oakland will be more like winning about 37% of their games to 40% of their games when all the dust settles. It was Tampa I was talking about, which will be around a 500 team when all the dust settles. And now when we look, where's Tampa right now? Yeah, they're about 4 games under 500 playing Minnesota. Minnesota's playing like they should. Meaning they haven't been getting lucky or really unlucky. They're pretty much around where they should be. But we know Tampa's owned them in this series. This is a team Tampa has no problem beating. They took game 1 from them yesterday. And Minnesota went on that run. They had won 6, 7, 8 games in a row. Finally got that loss. We look for a little regression there. They had won 7 of 8 games, 8 of 9 games. So we're going to take Tampa Bay as well, around that plus 115, 120 range. So we got two dogs for you, a road dog in Tampa Bay and a home dog in Oakland. Tampa Bay, we're just betting money line for the game. Oakland, we're betting money line for the game. We're also betting money line first five and plus a half a run first five. Again, manage risk correctly, especially if you're going to bet the sides like we do, 2-3 different ways. You want to make sure you manage your risk in a way that you're comfortable with, All right, let's get to some questions. I love these. And again, I'm not going to keep begging, but I ask you to take a minute out of your day. I'm doing this each and every day for you, taking an hour more or less to prepare. All I ask is just hit the like button. That's all it takes. 5 seconds. That's it. Just give Ace a like. That's it. If you really want to look out, post a comment, ask a question, call me out. You know me, I got thick skin. Take nothing personal. Anything you want to know, I'll let you, I'll admit, I'll talk about. And more importantly, if you could share it, I really owe you. All right. MFang 22. Let's go. Ace, thank you for giving out such great information. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up and taking the time to listen. I'm completely new at sports betting. We all were there, my man. I'm sure this is a rookie question. No such thing as a rookie question. No such thing. The only mistake is not asking a question. People take ignorance as it's a bad word. It's not. It just means you haven't been taught something. Like if I'm ignorant of something, it's not like I'm a dummy. I haven't been taught about that topic. So I won't be ignorant once I'm taught about it. Okay. So it's not like they teach us sports betting in school or it's one of those things. You either get into it or you don't. So never feel anything. Okay. But when I'm talking about return on investment and units, what are you referring to? I assume when you talk percentages, you're talking about percent of the entire bankroll. Thank you for a great fun and content. Yes. That's exactly what I'm talking about. When I'm talking percentage, it's the bet size in relation to my bankroll. And the way I do it is I bet 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, and 1.25. So on my very best bets, my strongest bets, I'm betting 1.25% of my bankroll. So if I have a $10,000 bankroll, I'm betting 125 flat on a dog, or I'm betting to win 125 on a favorite. But those are very rare. The majority of my bets are 3% and 4% plays, which 0.25 of that is 0.75 and 1% of the bankroll. So on a $10,000 bankroll, 3% would be 0.25, 0.75, of 10,000 would be $75. And 1% of 10,000 would be 100. So those are my average bets, $75 to $100, based on if you had a $10,000 bankroll. That's pretty much what we're averaging bet size wise. Now, ROI, the reason we calculate that is because units only tell us so much, how many units you're up. Because if you have like your return on investment, if you have a small sample size, your return on investment could be high. Because if I just make one bet and double my money, my return on investment is 100%. But when I have volume, my return on investment is going to drop. But that's not a negative. As long as my return on investment is positive, then I want volume, because that means I'll just keep kicking up positive expectation bets. Every bet I'm placing has positive expectations. Doesn't mean it's going to win, but it does have positive expectations. So that's why my ROI is positive. And that's just your return on investment. For every dollar you invest that you bet, what was your return on that? 2%, 3%? That's what that tells you. Over 3,000 bets, I could average maybe a 2% ROI at best. That's a huge sample size. If you're getting 2% on 3,000, you're turning money really fast. Like I said, with blackjack, the reason I love the game is because I can make 200 bets an hour. In 4 hours, I can make 800 bets. Like that's where you recognize what just having a 1% edge could turn into by turning that money over, that ROI, that return on my investment. I don't care if it's a 0.5%. If it's a 0.5%, then I need volume. The more volume, just give me a 0.5% of everything I'm putting in. If it's 20%, I don't have to bet as much volume. That's how it works. See how that works? All right, Gianni, my man Mitchell. Thank you. I'm gaining experience in the market every day. Yes, we learn with every winner and loser. You should. I'm in this now 30 years, and I swear to you, every time I'm learning. I won't say every day, But majority of days, I'm picking something up new because the markets evolve. Markets evolve. So you got to evolve with them. Like today's baseball market wasn't the same as last year's baseball market. That's for sure. Like those change. Let me see something. We dumped those in the trash. You dumped those in the trash outside. I had paperwork we found because we're putting the house still together that my girl found in boxes, paperwork from like 2011, from 2011. Like the notes that I had, oh my God, like the work, she couldn't believe the amount of like detail and content that I hand wrote. Like I put in a lot of time, man, a lot of time. So believe me, you're going to win. You're going to learn with every bet over the years. You'll keep evolving. He's currently, not me. I am too, not of my experience of my life, but it's not a good one. Mitchell says, currently on the coldest streak I've experienced to date. You speaking on your experience is exactly what I need at this moment. Weathering the storm is only going to make me better. In your experience, there's a certain month period of season where betting just gets more difficult overall. Is June a tough month over your long-term experience? Great question. Great question, Mitchell. Great question. And I love how you're focused on what you're doing and like questioning everything like you're supposed to. You're supposed to. Until you get down what works for you, your own blueprint that you're comfortable with, because everyone's risk tolerance is different. Everyone's life situation is different. Everyone's bankroll is different. All I try to do is set a good foundation for bettors by having them avoid the mistakes I made. As far as picking where it's hard and where it's easy, you'll never know. Like that changes. And that's why I always tell bettors, like, don't go into, unless you're only betting one sport, don't go into a year thinking like, oh, my best sport is college basketball. You don't know that year where the market's going to be less or more efficient. We never know going in. I mean, I think it's more coincidence than anything else that I'm having my losing run right now, like I did last year at this same time. I don't think that's market specific. I think that's just randomness of the market more than anything else. Because I bet long enough now to know that like you have a great March Madness, 3 great March Madness in a row, then 2 losing March Madnesses. So it's like you can't time it. You can't time it. All you can hope for is that you continue to find those inefficiencies. But don't go in fearing a month or even getting excited about a month. Like, oh, it's September, football starting. I crush football. It's time to unload. No, just take what you could get, what the market gives you. Stay with your managed risk size. Stick to that. That's the best advice I could give you. Like Mitchell, if you have an edge, if you truly have an edge, you will see that. And if you are bet sizing correctly, you will have the bankroll to find out whether you have an edge. That's for sure. Because you will either reach ruin or you will eventually double your bank. If you truly have an edge and you're bet sizing the right way, small in relationship to your bankroll, then it's just a matter of time before you double it. Like I know I'm a mathematical certainty to double our bankroll before losing it all. I'm favored to do that. And you'll find out whether you become the favorite to do that as well. But to find out, you gotta battle through these negative stretches, or you'll never know. Like I said, everyone does the right thing when things are going good. That's easy. It's easy to follow rules. It's easy to bet size correctly when everything is running great. But when things go bad, what do? Do you panic? Do you overbet? Do you get emotional? What happens? Or do you remain robotic, understand it's part of the process? You don't know whether tomorrow it's going to change or whether in a week from now it's going to change. So you just stick to your guns and you do what's worked for you in the past, trusting it's going to work for you now and in the future. That's what we have. That's what we're working with. So you're on your journey, Mitchell, and you're going to find out whether you already have an edge or you still have to work on getting that edge and then using it to profit with your management skills that you're developing now, with your risk management that you're developing now. dude, your process is right. You're going about it all the right way. It just takes time and patience. It just takes time and patience. When I moved to Las Vegas, Daniel Negreanu was playing in the Mirage like 1-3, 1-5, whatever. 1-3 hold'em, 1-5 stud. Like the smallest games. Now he's playing $1 million pots. That's how it happened. I got here though 20 plus years ago. See how that works? It didn't happen overnight. It takes work, man. It takes work and patience. Most of those big poker players that are celebs, they started at micro stakes. And they were the ones that actually did the 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25, that actually stuck to the process through good and bad. And they slowly grind it up. Next thing you know, like I did, I went from 100 to 500 to now 200 to 1,000 to now 300 to 1,500 to now 400 to 2,000. Like, that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. All right. Smashing and sharing daily. My man, Neil. My man, Neil. Love it. Can you expound a little more on defining or explaining groups and syndicates for the uninformed, such as myself? It sounds like a cabal of shady rich dudes that have inside info the rest of us could never have. A little more info, please, and thanks. Love the question. Love the question. They're just like us. They're just like us. They're a betting syndicate is a group that moves together, that bets, that is getting down together on the same stuff. And that's how they're moving the market. But within the betting syndicate, it's an individual that has the edge. Like they're specialists in different sports. It's not one group, one guy beating every sport. They have multiple wise guys that have the ability to beat particular markets. And this betting syndicate, a group of guys just like me, you, the guy next to you, the other guy listening to this, get together and say, let's pool some money, get our accounts together, and let's start moving this stuff for these guys that win. Because what happens is when someone's able to beat the market, the problem is getting down eventually. So how do they get down? They reach out to someone like myself who works with a betting syndicate to help me get them down. And now since I'm helping them get down, I now have access to their information. And now me and my group bet it. So that guy, most never even know the guy that comes out with the play. No one ever even meets them. Well, you don't even know who they are. I mean, eventually you find out a couple big names like the Billy Walters who are behind it. But it was betting syndicates like the one I worked with that was moving Billy Walters' stuff. And the way we would do it was simple. You give him $5,000 per play. That's it. You book him for 5 dimes. Now you have his information. We now have his bet. If we give him 5,000 on it, we go and we bet it for 50,000. We hope he wins so we could pay him his 5 and chop up the 45 amongst ourselves. That's how the betting syndicates work. It's a group of guys that pull accounts together and pool their resources to be able to move money and get down. That's the hardest part, is getting down once you're able to win. That's what I think recreational bettors do not realize. And why a lot of us, even like that win, end up selling picks, because it becomes just so difficult to keep monetizing by yourself or with the betting syndicate, just because the limits reach a certain point where you can't get more down. That's just it. So the only way you can make more money with that information is to share it, to sell it. You can't bet it. So that's why you see even guys like Crack, who's one of the most profitable sports bettors I know since moving out here. He's sharp as they come, only looking for plus EV stuff. You're never going to find him on a negative EV bet. And, now he's provides a service. Why? Because he doesn't make him enough money betting? The fuck he don't. I could promise you that. He does great betting, but there's limitations. I bet he wishes he could get more down, but he fears getting stiffed. That's the problem. So that's what a betting syndicate is. It's just a group of guys that are sick of not being able to get down. So they pull their money, their resources together, and they start betting for winning groups, winning guys, winning someone with an algorithm, someone with a system that actually has been proven long-term to work, someone with inside information, whatever it is, whoever that main source is, they're giving it to the betting syndicate, and then we take it from there. Nothing shady. It's not gangster. It ain't mafia. It ain't nonsense like movies. It's normal fucking dudes. It's normal. You want to find out exactly what a betting syndicate is? You really want to read a book that's going to show you exactly how moving money works, Gaming the Game. Just go buy it right now. Go to Amazon, get Gaming the Game, read that cover to cover. You will find out exactly how betting syndicates work. That is the ultimate truth to the NBA fixing scandal, to the Tim Donaghy situation, to what happened back during that time. I know personally because I know the gentleman that not wrote the book, but the book is about, who helped the author obviously write the book. Okay. So you want to know about betting syndicates? You could read it from the man who moved more money than anyone else in the world. At one point, Sheep could move more money than anyone else in the world. Anyone else in the world. There was not a single person that could get you more money down than that guy. So, of course, the best information, the very top elite shit is going to him first. Why? Because he could get you down at that number. Now he's got to create a syndicate, doesn't he? Why? Because he's got to move the stuff. So that's how syndicates get down. But Gaming the Game, check it out. I promise you won't be disappointed. Gaming the Game. I don't even get a penny from it. So you know I'm not, it's not like I'm pushing anything. I was hoping we had a game for you. I think I got a stock for you. Oh my, we might have to do something good. Yeah, I'm in a really good group, like a sick group that almost impossible to get on this freaking Discord. You can't even buy your way in. That's the truth. All right. Let me see what they're day trade. Let me see what they're swing trading today. Yep. Lithium. Everybody's lining up to buy LIT. And we want it right where I priced that trend line. Holy shit. I'm getting good at this. I love when you see like the bars hit your line and bounce. Even if I miss the trade, like just knowing you were right is validation. I get so excited. Right now, come on down, Lithium. You're $40.09. Come on down to that $36.34, and I'm unloading. I just took a little today, 40-ish, but I want to unload and then really unload. Like I'll sell my fucking car. At $32.67, I'll sell the car. The car's gone. If Lithium gets the $32, it's gone. It's gone. I give a shit. I'll Uber for 3 months. All right. This is from James. James Cute. Love the name. IBR, can you please explain the correlated parlay? I find the book that let me parlay big favorites in the total, MLB football. Would you bet 100 big favorite and over, and another 100 big underdog and under the same game? Would it be profitable? How big of a favorite and how many total points are you looking for? Okay, I wouldn't just blindly bet favorite and over, dog and under. Just because like you see the split a lot of times, favorite and over, dog. I mean, favorite and under, dog and over. Hold on, sorry. All right, sorry. Someone's asking about the Tampa I think I accidentally put minus 120 instead of plus 120. All right. The correlated parlay. MLB and football. Would you bet 100 big favorite and over, another 100 big dog and under? Now, with Major League Baseball, if they're letting you parlay the run line with the total, yeah, you could do some damage if they're letting you bet run line and total. What you want to look for are low run lines, low totals, and bet the dog and under. Want to bet the dog and under and hope for a low scoring game. That's correlated. That's if you see a low total, then the market expects it to be a low scoring game. And if you're getting a run and a half in a low scoring game, you're probably a favorite to cash that ticket. Because even if you lose, if it's a low scoring game, you probably won't lose by much. That's what correlated means. I'll make the football example the best. We see it all the time, a Thursday night game. It's a great team against a nobody. And the elite team is minus 35 points, minus 36 points. And the total is 42 and a half, 43. So when I go to the window, if I'm going to bet the favorite minus 30 at minus 36 and the total is 42, I'm obviously going to bet favorite and over. Because if the favorite covers the spread, the probability of it going over 42 is extremely high. Is very high. But 9 out of 10 books will no longer allow me to do that because it's correlated, and that's when they're at a disadvantage. See, when I'm betting a correlated parlay, I'm now betting from a position of strength. They won't allow that. They want me betting from a position of weakness. So most books don't allow correlated parlays. If they do, like I said, you take advantage. You take advantage. And the way I would look in baseball like that. I would look for low totals, and I would look to take the dog at plus 1.5 and the under. That's it. That's what I would look for. And then again, in football, that's obvious. Big spread, low total, dog and under, favorite and over. If you can do that, you're good. You're gold. You're gold. It's just like, but eventually what happens is most books will then shut that down. Like the fact that you could get it is awesome. I don't know if I have any books now that'll let me parlay run line and over at all. It's almost like I talked about. You guys will learn during football. I found some teasers, even 16 teasers where we find the edge, but it's based on if you could get these odds. I'll share them with you. They're 14 teasers, 16 teasers that a lot of books have mispriced. We'll get to that when football comes. I have a lot of gold for you guys. Trust me. Just like soccer. I had gold back in the, I wish I had this ability like 5-10 years ago. Probably did. I just didn't know how. I would have shared with you a soccer hack that was printing money. It was printing so much money that I found myself on a Sunday with like 5 of those parlays pending, praying they lost so we could get paid. I was afraid they were going to win, and the bookie, it would be easier for him to just say, dude, I'm not paying you, than to pay us all that money. And here was the hack. You look for low totals, 2 and under. You know those totals that are lined at 2 on soccer games. 2.5 the highest. 2.5 the highest. Okay. And what you're looking to parlay, and especially when the three-way lines are all similar, all close. Not when one team's such a heavy favorite over the other. You want close games, low totals. Here's what we're doing with it. We are parlaying tie and under, tie and under, tie and under every time we see it, regardless of who the teams are, regardless of if there's any sharp money. We're not betting because the inefficiency is in the betting line. We're betting because the inefficiency is in the payout. That's like those teasers I'm going to teach you about when football comes around. The inefficiencies are in the payouts. It's not in the line. So the line doesn't matter. We're just looking for the type of line that's going to give us the bet to take advantage of the inefficiency in the total, in the payout. And that's what you have with those soccer parlays. If you could find any book that still allows you to parlay tie with the under, just print money. You're going to print money. I would not take advantage of it too much so they don't shut you off. But yeah, that's definitely what I would be doing. 110% betting those. Again, you're printing money. 0, 0, 1, 1 all day games. And 0011 all day, all day. So yeah, you print money doing that. So yes, to answer your question, James, QQ, I would definitely look to take advantage, but I wouldn't do both. I wouldn't do both. Like I said, I would look to the one side and take advantage of the fact that they're allowing me to bet this correlated parlay, because it's not the payout that's the difference here. It's that they're letting you correlate a parlay, a money line with a game total. And there is a correlation if the game total is low, and we could get a run and a half. All right. Clickster 8, my man. Yo, Ace, some of the things you talk about are just way over my head and I don't follow. That's okay. That's okay. That's totally fine. That's what should happen. That means you're learning. If everything I was telling you just went by like, cool, I got this, then you're not learning anything. You're not learning. All this would be just confirmation bias, me confirming what you already think. That's not what we're looking to do. We're looking to learn. I learn from you, you learn from me. And I learned so much from the questions and the comments, I swear to you. That's why I urge you to share as much as you can. So nothing's over your head, Clickster. Nothing's over your head. That much I promise you. You just haven't been exposed to it enough to where it becomes simple. Once you're exposed to it enough, all this shit's simple, dude. I have a high school education. I'm no rocket scientist, bro. Like, I'm just keeping it real. Like, I don't think I'm the smartest man in the room in most rooms. I don't need to be. So what I found is I surround myself by smart people, and I don't have an ego. So that's what's helped me in my life, that I check my ego at the door. I realize there's smarter people than me in the world. So you need to spend your time with those smarter people and learn from those smarter people, and that, not be the smartest guy in the room. There's nothing for you to learn in that case. Nothing for you to learn. Okay. With the EV stuff and all, for example, you talked about the A's and the Royals under, but to play it at plus money down the even, I know what that means, but you make it sound like we have to get those odds or it's a no play. My question is, what's the difference if I lay 5 to win 5 or I lay 520 to win 5? If it's a loss, would the $20 tax really affect my bankroll? That kind of stuff is where I don't follow. If I'm confident enough to lay 3 to win 3, why not lay 312? Love it. Love the question. Here's why. Because laying that 520 to win 5, that 20 cents, that starts to add up. Those start to add up. And that eats away from your profit, because your edge isn't going to be great in sports betting. See, people make the mistake of thinking if they bet a $500, let's say they bet team A for 500 and the game wins, they think in their mind that they actually won $500. They didn't win $500. The only way they won $500 is if they never bet again. The second they bet again, they no longer won $500. They won the expected value of $500. That's what they won. That's why I'm talking about EV, where if you're going to be constantly betting, you can't look at it as one individual game. It's all your bets combined. So now over your last 1,000, if you paid 10 cents more, just 10 cents more over your last 1,000, you now lost 100 extra, over 100 extra. That takes out of your profit. Like that rolled over and over and over again, it becomes the difference between winning and losing. I promise you, the edge is not that great. That's why I say, like, once the market moves, the truth becomes we don't even have an edge anymore, because the money line is a point spread. People think the money line isn't the point spread. Like, let me put it to you this way. Okay, let me do this. Let's do this. Okay. Money line conversion, okay? This is a great question. That's why we need to look at this. Give me a second. Just pull this up. Oh, perfect. Here we go. Okay. Let's talk point spreads. Let's talk money lines. Okay. let's take NFL, for instance. NFL, for instance, okay? We have a minus 6-point favorite at minus 110, minus 6 points, okay? The money line on minus 6 is minus 284, minus 284.80. So we'll say 285. So the money line for minus 6 is 285. If I'm laying minus 320, I'm no longer getting minus 6. You see how that works? People think because baseball isn't a point spread that you can't equate it to one. Like every point spread could be made into a money line. That's why taking a worse money line is the exact same as taking a worse spread. And just like with taking a bad number, like I said, laying minus 248, 285 at minus 6. You know, minus 7 is 371. So let's say instead of 285, I go to the window and I'm laying and they have minus 310. And I'm like, yeah, if he's going to win, it's going to win anyway. And minus 310, I'm laying 6.5 now. I'm not laying minus 6 anymore. So if it lands 6, I lose. Now you're thinking, wait, but on the money line, it won anyway. That's that game. That game happened to win. But if it loses, now instead of losing 285, you lost 310, 330, 30, 40, 50 extra dollars. That's going to take out from your profit. And how much do you think your profit's going to be? Betting every day. Like I said, our edge is small, bro. Our edge is small. If you have a 2% edge, let's say you have a 5% edge. You're great. You have a 5% edge after the 5% the hold already is. So you have a 10% edge in reality. Let's say you're that great. You're the best sports bettor that was ever born. You have a 5% edge. So 5% on a $500 bet, you know what your EV is? $25. So when that wins in your mind, you got to think, I only won $25. Unless I never bet again, this isn't 500. This is $25. That's all you won is $25. Now, because if you keep betting at a bad number, there's that difference. Instead of laying 285, I laid 330 and lost. That's an extra $45. That's more than what I won off that $500 bet. So now I'm 1-1. I don't just lose juice. I'm way in the hole. That's why taking bad numbers breaks you in the long run. If you're only going to place one bet, it doesn't matter. You just got to win that one bet. The number who cares if it moves? Your only goal is to win that one bet. But if your goal is to profit from the sports betting market, you're not just going to try to win that one bet. You're going to try to win more bets than you lose. And if you're taking bad numbers, that's just not going to happen. It's just the math isn't going to work out for you. Just like I showed, it's going to catch up to you. That paying that extra vig starts to catch up after 10 plays, 20 plays, 50 plays, 100 plays, 200 plays. You can't keep taking 10 cents worse and think that's not going to add up as you keep betting. So that's why taking a good number is so key. And why move lines? Books, why would they care about moving lines? Trust me. That the number is so key, because what you need to do, we bet numbers. We don't bet teams. We bet numbers. We don't bet teams. Get that, nail that in. We don't bet teams. We bet numbers. That's what we're betting. The team's irrelevant. The numbers, what's matter. That's what we're doing. We're betting numbers. I love you guys. I went too long again, but these are great questions. And I hope, again, like I said, I don't care. I want it to grow, but I want people to get actually things from it. Or else I do a 10-minute one, get out some pick, and move on and get the same views. I don't want that. I want the people that are really passionate like I am about this shit, that really, really want to dive in with it. Let's go. I love you guys. Back bright and early on Friday.